It's Monday. You know what that means? A special Halloween spooky edition of the number one sports podcast in all the universe. It's a Flex On Podcast. You guys know the drill. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Leave us a like. And hit that bell for all notifications. Tonight, blockbuster trade that immediately helps the Baltimore Ravens. We'll tell you who and what they gave up for them. Commanders are on a roll with another win. We'll talk about that with the Commander Lawyer himself. Friend of the program, El Crofo, joins us to talk Philadelphia Eagles and their chances at winning it all. Of course, we got those week 9 picks, game ball, not so game ball. We end the Goofies of the week. The crew's all here. Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it, when you need it. Get ready to go live. It's Monday. Yeah, man, day with the Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you your sports, fellas, how you want it.
When you need it.
Happy Halloween. And you know, on the Flex Zone, we keep it spooky, as we do here, as we talked about NFL trade news affecting the Ravens. Commanders on the roll. And we got El Crofo in the building. Game ball, not so game ball, week 9 picks. And, of course, Goofies of the week. Follow us at the Flex Zone 1. Hit the bell, notifications. Another big week of content. So much videos on the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. All that good stuff. FlexZone1@gmail.com. Cash App, the Flex Zone 1. Social media producer, Big Raj. We had a good time last week talking Ravens after that big win. Hey, how you feeling? How was your weekend? Let people know how to keep up with us.
I had a real chill weekend. Didn't really do too much. It's Halloween weekend. So I just decided to do a little something, just chill in the house. And, watch some Lomachenko, and he got the job done. But chill out weekend. Cannot wait to get into this, Ravens trade. Oh my goodness, man. This might be a game changer for the Ravens, but we shall see.
Next man, he's on fire, just like his football team. We salute him. He's the commander, the Commander-Lorian, and his team still has a pulse. And they could even be in the playoff mix in the wide open NFC. It's Cravante, baby, captain of the Goofy Ship. What's up, brother?
Hey, man. I can't believe what's going on here. First of all, folks can't talk trash about the NFC East no more. They are no longer the worst division in football.
Cravante, are you on mute?
I think the Dan Snyder muted his mic.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Not the man muted his mic.
Dan Snyder muted him.
He doesn't want him to spit this truth, brother. That's what it is. He doesn't want the man doesn't want you talking about.
Am I back?
Yes.
There you go.
Now you're back.
Ever since
am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, listen. Well, I'll get into it a little bit later.
Ever since Cravante slid him, they are undefeated. But this next man, he's the Flex On Messiah, Lamar Jackson's agent, and the price is going up. The man of 1,000 nicknames, Drizzy Dre, the super producer. Catch him each and every day. We'll start your day with a cup of Dre. Start that stirs the drink. Proud of Eastside. Save your misbehavior. My brother, Drizzy Dre. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Byron? What's going on, brothers? And what's going on, America? Appreciate everybody for tuning in on this this Halloween day that apparently in sports right now the Browns are up on the Bengals, and I mean they up bad. So something is in the air on this Halloween day.
Yes, no Cravante. He will be right back. Shout out to everybody in the comments. But let's get to it. Raj, big trade. It's the thumbnail. It's the title. We got to talk about it. The flop. They made another move at the trade deadline, getting Roquan Smith for a 2nd and a 5th round pick. Roquan Smith is only 25 years of age, actually leads the league in tackles this season, has led the league in tackles 2 out of the last 3 years. This is the last year of his deal, but keep in mind if the Ravens do not re-sign him, they would get a compensatory pick, which would be a third rounder. And it looks like the Bears are paying the majority of his salary, which was the tipping point of the trade because the Ravens salary cap could not afford him, obviously, with their strap situation, even with Lamar's contract on the rise coming up. But Roquan Smith, he's here. He's going to play next to Patrick Queen. He's going to play that Mike linebacker spot. And Rod, this is what we needed, man. Probably as much as anything else.
Yeah, man. Amazing trade today. I did not see this coming. Eric DeCosta did something that that he hasn't really done since 2019, which is get an impact player that can actually really help us defensively. As far as midway through the season, the last time he got somebody was Marcus Peters. We already know how that story went. I mean, he fit right in like a glove. I mean, his first game against Seattle, he just picked Russell Wilson off and ran it back to the house, and it was a very, very impactful person to have on the team. So with Roquan Smith, being one of the Bears, best defenders on the team, them just getting him for a second and a fifth, bro. I mean, I've been waiting for this for a minute from the Ravens, man. I'm like, yo, show me something that's going to help this team become a perennial Super Bowl contender. And I think this is one of the best moves that they have done. Now, I must say that the middle linebacker spot has been suspect at best with Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison and Josh Bynes. Every now and again, Patrick Queen will make a couple plays here and there, and sometimes he misses the tackle or he overshoots the gap and completely misses the play altogether. And he's very inconsistent. And with Josh Bynes, he's just old at this point. I mean, he has the smarts, but he just can't get to the spot a lot. And Malik Harrison, he's a great thumper, but a lot of times he misses the play as well. But I think he's a good special teams guy. But with Roquan Smith, he doesn't miss anything. He can do it. He can literally do it all. He can shoot the gap. He can sack the quarterback. He can get interceptions. He can control the middle of the defense. He could probably wear the green dot if he wants to. And I think with a guy like that, you need a guy like that to control the whole overall defense. I know Chuck Clark wears the green dot right now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to have it. But I think this is a beautiful, beautiful, definitely trade for the Baltimore Ravens. But I will say this: the only thing that kind of that kind of makes me feel a little bit iffy about it is the fact that he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, like Lamar Jackson, and the fact that he doesn't have an agent either. Now I know he's 25 years old, like Lamar. He's going to be coming up, for a big contract. And I'm praying that we can keep both of these guys, man. I mean, I'm not sure what they're going to have to do in the offseason to keep them, if possible. But you cannot let a guy like him leave. I mean, if you're getting him right now in his prime, you must keep him, especially if he if he does what he did with the Bears, with the Ravens. Oh, you got to keep him. You got to find a way. I don't give a damn if you got to, trade a couple people away, cut some people. You keep him, and you keep Lamar Jackson. So right now, this is a beautiful trade for the Ravens. This puts them right in the one of the top spots as far as the conference of the AFC. They're 5-3 right now. They're leading in the division in the AFC North, and this could literally put them over the top. But the trade deadline is not done yet. Let's see what else the Ravens do. Let's see if they go for a wide receiver, because we heard some news about Rashad Bateman and his foot, and it's not good news. So we shall see what happens for the rest of the time. But this is definitely a great move for the Baltimore Ravens.
Wouldn't be surprised if somehow Bateman misses the rest of the year. He just seems to be that type of guy who can play, but injuries yet again, and it's that foot. We saw it with the groin. But Dre, your thoughts on the Roquan Smith trade? And they said Andrews and Edwards may be okay, so probably 2 out of those 3. But your thoughts on the trade, brother? You look happy. You're not Mr. Upset today.
Yes, I'm very happy indeed. Like Rod said, this is the type of trade, honestly, that can prepare, can shift a season. That was a position that we knew we were weak at, but I mean, this type of player right there, because the secondary we weren't too worried about, despite what statistics say. The Ravens still have people in position when it comes to the secondary. It's just a matter of getting them to gel and make the right plays at the right times. But the fact that we have somebody right now of his caliber in that middle linebacker spot helps out, because when you think about the Baltimore Ravens defense, I mean, in the past, we've talked several times about the people like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. But now when you talk about the Ravens defense, the people that come to mind are Marlon Humphreys and Marcus Peters. Uh, Outside of that, maybe Calais Campbell, but that's not who you really think about when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens as a defense. But having somebody of this caliber join our team and solidifying that, helping that 7 out along with Patrick Queen, I think that's going to make a huge difference right there on defense. And this is the type of move that you need, especially when you have somebody that you have the caliber um, of his caliber right there when you're taking on teams like the Bills, the Chiefs, the Dolphins. So that way you can go with these teams who have the speed. And I mean, a guy like this, I mean, like Rod said, if what he did in Chicago and he was a formidable piece with them defensively, I can only imagine what he's going to be able to do with this Baltimore Ravens defense. And they said that he's going to play Monday night when they take on the Saints. So I'm even more excited and looking more forward to it, because on defense, um, like Booger McFarland was saying on ESPN, defensive guys don't need time. He said you can honestly trade for a defensive guy and they'll be ready to play the next game, because he said all they see is hit ball. He said, and RG3 said even though the Ravens defensive system is a little complicated, he said that he should still be able to get in there and be acclimated, because the point that y'all brought up, this is a contract year for him. Despite him being like Lamar, same age, not having an agent, both these brothers want to get paid at the end of the day. And this is the time when you have to show out. So show out, prove why you're worth the money that you are seeking for, and go ahead. I think, like Rod said, if we can solidify and get both these guys signed up, or at least get them to our ultimate goal, which is a Super Bowl, I think that the sky's the limit for both these guys. I mean, especially moving forward, if we can, I really do feel good about signing Smith, because I think that, of course, the Ravens organization is a defensive organization first, of course, before our offensive organization. But if you can solidify him and Lamar in their primes, I mean, who knows, like, after that, where this team can honestly go. So I'm very excited as a Ravens fan, and I know that you talked about Bateman, and there was a tweet that said that Odell is still available, and that it's possible the Ravens could still get Odell. I don't know if the Ravens will get Odell, but it's possible that the Ravens could still go after Odell, and I think that they should, especially with Bateman out there. I mean, I know there are other receivers out there right now, such as Brandon Cooks, um, Chase Claypool. So there are other wide receivers out there, but I mean, if the Ravens wanted to go a cheap route, try to get Odell on the cheap and bring him in for the rest of the season, that's another route that could happen as well, especially with the Bateman injury. So we'll have to see, but I think that right now, at least like Rod said, because we've been questioning DeCosta for a while now, and now this is the type of move that can not only save a job but save a season and get you to that ultimate championship caliber level of where you want to be, which is a Super Bowl championship.
We will be live for that Saints game, so hit that bell to know when we're live. If you're in the venue, hit the subscribe button. Cravante coming out of Georgia, we were big on him. It's only translated in NFL.
Absolutely. He is as advertised. I think this was a huge move for the Ravens, and it's arguably one of the best players that was left in free agency, and it fills a need. So you guys knocked it out the park with two birds with one stone. I think that's what they say. So yeah, this is big time with the defense that has been kind of lackluster. For the most part, like I've said, my only critique of the Ravens has been the defense this year because it doesn't look like typical traditional Ravens defense. And like Dre said, we all know who the Hall of Famers are. It hasn't been looking like there's any of them guys on the defense this year. I think Roquan Smith can solidify the inside or middle of that defense, and he's a tackling machine. I believe he leads the league in tackles right now.
He has 83 already.
Yeah, and
like
and
it's
the
like
last
week
time
8.
last time he took on the Ravens, he had 17 in one game.
Yeah.
So the guy, so the guy's coming in averaging 10 tackles a game. You know, just off the muscle, about 10 tackles a game. So I think he will do great things with the Ravens. And like Dre was saying about, I think he said Booger has said on deep defenders, it ain't too much to know just to get out there and play. Offense, you got to get acclimated. You need some chemistry. You probably need a practice or two. Defense, hey man, go get the ball. go hit somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll have an easier time getting acclimated than, you know, any offensive player. Now on the flip side, I think this is a great move. Well, let me say this. I think it's a great move for both teams. If I'm not mistaken, the Chicago Bears have 9 draft picks for next year. When you're in a situation like a Chicago Bears or the Carolina Panthers, we're getting rid of folks, we get rid of contracts, and we getting as many picks as we can because we're such a bad organization. I believe, like I said, I believe the Bears have nine picks and now over $100 million in cap, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So this is a great move for the Bears for the future moving forward, and perfect for the Ravens because they need it right now. Usually when trades like that happen, one's for the future and one's right now, and I think it works out for both teams. Now to Raj's point, this is concerning because he did hold out. He didn't hold out long, but he did hold out at the beginning of the season looking for a contract. Now, when a team is in turmoil such as the Chicago Bears, they're not going to play a middle linebacker or inside linebacker, you know what I'm saying, top dollar when the roster is in shambles. So he's looking for a contract at the end of this year. Lamar Jackson is going to get a contract at the end of this year. So, and like Raj also said, he's in the prime. He's right there in his prime. And he's going to be worth whatever the market says he's worth, maybe even a little bit more. So, you know, this is not a guy you want to see leave your locker room, especially if he has the impact I think he's going to have. So that's going to be concerning moving forward. But you cross that bridge when you get to it. Now it's about winning football games and, you know, getting the best players on the field. So I love it for both teams.
They'll need him on Monday. Kamara, Olave, Michael Thomas. We saw what they did to the Raiders yesterday. We'll get to that later. But them boys can score, and Andy Dalton is familiar with the Ravens. So we shall see more news hopefully coming out of the Ravens camp as they head into the Monday night game. Like I said, we will be live. But Cravante, it was a tight one in Indy, boy. I thought I was watching the Ravens game. Taylor Heineke. Terry McLaurin coming back home, making a clutch catch. And you guys are now 4-4. Are the playoffs possible? And Dan Snyder's Washington Commanders undefeated since Cravante and Tristan slid them to hell on that live.
I tell you, there is no way, however you painted that, there was no way I would have thought it ended like that. They were down by a couple scores. First of all, they were up for a nice portion, and then all of a sudden they down 9. And I'm like, God damn, what the hell? What the hell happened? And I'm like, oh well, there it goes again. Same old. Then they get a field goal. Now they're down 6. And I'm like, huh. If they get a stop, they will have one more opportunity. But even then, they have to go the length of the field, and then they will have to score a touchdown. We're asking for a lot at this point, especially for Taylor Heineke, who has a limited arm strength-wise. And somehow, some way, I don't know what it is, but since Taylor Heineke has been in there, it's like he's elevated the team's play. Like Terry McLaurin has been a man on fire. Like it's like when he gets, it's like when his quarterback gets downgraded and he upgrades himself. I don't know what it is. He gave Jair Alexander the blues last week, and now he's snatching a jump ball away from Stephon Gilmore, a former Defensive Player of the Year. What am I seeing?
Kenny Moore's pretty good too, Cavante.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Kenny Moore is pretty good too, the other corner.
Yes, indeed. But Taylor Heineke's out there and he's just balling. He only know one way to play, and we've seen it. So I guess he's elevated. I'm not gonna say he's elevating the talent, but he's elevating the intensity and the urgency of this team, which is something I was not seeing under Carson Wentz. And lo and behold, he's on a winning streak, which is crazy. He's on a back. He's won back to back, and now the confidence is only growing. Like after starting 1-4, you know, I'm ready to throw in the towel. Y'all heard me speak. I'm ready to throw. I'm ready. Hey, we try to get a top 5 pick at this point, but Taylor Heineke is not going to allow that to happen. And I like what I'm saying out of the guys. I like what I'm saying out of them responding to Carson Wentz. And listen, man, if he wins another game, I don't know how Carson Wentz gets his job back. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you because he's equal Carson Wentz's wins in 2 weeks. Like this is crazy. But shout out to our defense, forcing crucial turnovers. I saw Jamin Davis on a crucial stop of Jonathan Taylor. Our defensive line was going toe to toe with that offensive line, who is a top tier offensive line, and they have a top tier running back, and they wasn't doing too much of nothing. Now, granted, they did have a rookie quarterback, but stopping the run first is what's important. Make the rookie beat you. So, great win. Taylor Heineke, one thing he could do, he's gonna throw it up to Terry. That's his guy. He's gonna throw it up to Terry and let him make a play. Shout out to the offensive line. It's been a concern of mine all year. Terry McLaurin is he's top 10. He's pushing top 5 right now at this point, guys. Scary Terry out here is in top 10, man. I don't care what nobody say. He top 10. He pushing top 5 right now because the boys out there making plays. And of course, he went to the Ohio State and representing quite well. I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing. I hope it progresses, and I hope we don't fall off a cliff because the Eagles will be coming to town pretty soon. Well, no, we'll be going to Philadelphia pretty soon. But I am impressed with what I've been seeing the past couple weeks, and on the final drive where we absolutely needed a touchdown, I'm pleased with the results, but I'm also pleased with the urgency and the intensity that I saw from the team, which I have not seen under Carson Wentz. So I am impressed with this win.
Is it safe to say that it's over for Carson Wentz?
So I think if who do we play next?
Good question.
Because I know the Eagles are coming up, but I don't think
y'all don't know who y'all play next, man.
No, man, don't nobody keep up with that mess. The Vikings. Oh boy.
He probably thinks it's over anyway.
So the Eagles is in 2 weeks. So the Vikings, I think the Vikings are next week. If he finds a way to win this game, Carson Wentz is not getting his job back.
Hey, just go 1-1. Just go 1-1. Just go 1-1.
Yo, listen, but the Vikings, Eagles, I think if he goes 1-1, the Eagles or the Vikings, Carson Wentz is not getting his job back. But those are uphill battles because we're talking about the class of the NFC at this point. So that's going to be an uphill climb. So I'm not looking forward to it. But if they find a way to win, Carson Wentz is going to stay where he's at.
I think that Heineke is who you should have been had at the quarterback position. I understand the move for Carson Wentz, but I didn't feel like it was necessary because of what he was able to do, even leading you guys into the playoffs before. So I just didn't feel like Carson Wentz was really needed when it comes to this team. It's already a mess, as you can clearly see, but I think Heineke is the person. Carson Wentz just doesn't have that leadership quality to me. We've seen it in Philadelphia. We've seen it in Indy, and now we're seeing it again with Washington. I think his career might be over at this point, honestly.
Of all the weapons that y'all have on that damn team, Terry McLaurin, Dotson, Samuel, I mean, and including the running backs, Gibson and Robinson, it's like, yo, and you
What's
struggling,
up, man? Yeah.
You what was that one game? I think it was against the Eagles. He had like 70 yards at halftime. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man? It's little stuff like that, bro. And
also, Dotson has been out the past 2 weeks.
Right.
So Heineke is getting these W's without his second best guy.
Exactly. So it's just like, I don't get it, man. I don't understand. But
I don't know. I think Dre's right. It's just he doesn't have the intangibles to lead this team, and not necessarily saying that Heineke does, but he's getting a better response from this team than Carson Wentz. And if some crazy chance I think the Vikings come to us. If we win against the Vikings, Carson Wentz is probably not going to see the field anymore. And worst case scenario, Sam Howell will get the next go round.
We will definitely keep our eyes on Cravante's Commanders, as the NFC East is ever the more interesting. But this next guest, he's very interesting. It's been a while since we talked to our brother, friend of the program, #1 Eagles fan, and of course he's #1 in your heart. He told us a few years ago they were going to win the Super Bowl. Let's see if he's keeping that same energy today. By the way, I did pick his team to make the Super Bowl, by the way. You can run back that NFL preview. I had them making the Super Bowl before they were undefeated. And a lot of questions about the Eagles. Will they pay Jalen Hurts and their future as well? And getting A.J. Brown is a big acquisition. Not only that, he helps out the kids, and he's one of the best coaches in the country. Our brother, welcome into the Flex Zone, El Crawford, baby.
Oh, snap.
What's going on? It's good to be back.
My man.
What's going on?
And it feels good for the Eagles to be #1 where we should be,
Hey, I'm on the bandwagon now, Crawford. I picked y'all to go to the Super Bowl, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Hey, all the way.
Hey, look,
how you feeling, brother?
I need to get a cheesesteak right now. Philadelphia, y'all on fire, man.
Yeah, we're a very well-rounded team right now. We can beat you guys several different ways. We can run the ball, we can pass the ball. When you look at a good team, you look for a team where something can travel, where it could go to from stadium, weather to weather, and we have a run game that could go anywhere in the country. And I think that's really the strength of the football.
Uh-oh, frozen.
Oh boy, he ain't lying about that run game, man.
Oh, there you go. He's back.
Yeah, I would say we're top 4 in defense and we're top 4 in offense. So, when you're doing those two things and you're winning the turnover battle, you're going to win a lot of games.
It is.
Also, I would also like to say, there is one weakness is our special teams. Our special teams, we probably have one of the worst units in the NFL. And that could be where, it could kind of bite us from going undefeated. I believe special teams is a big part of the of a team of a game, and we kind of lack in that area.
All right, with the schedule left, I have a question for you. With the schedule that's left right now, who do y'all think y'all take your first loss to?
Oh, no question. It's the Cowboys. I think that Christmas Eve Day game, we might not have much to play for when we get there. And I can see that being a letdown. The question is, do we value health or running the table? And I think that game right there might be one where I don't want to say it'll be a letdown, but where it just might not make sense for us to try our best per se.
Okay.
I think.
Good.
Also, I think the Commanders are a sneaky team right now. I think a lot of people are not giving them, the proper respect and kind of dismissing them. Heineke, he's the type of player that he reminds me of a young Fitzpatrick. He kind of has a magic for 3 or 4 games, then it runs out.
Very sneaky.
Yeah.
L. Crawford, is Jalen Hurts the guy?
The dreaded wire.
Oh man, he's frozen for now. Hopefully he'll be unfroze soon. Definitely had a couple more questions for him because he said the Cowboys game, but there are a couple other games prior to that Cowboys game where.
What is that schedule, Dre? Can you read the schedule?
Yeah. So right now, their next game is against the Texans on Thursday night. Then they have a Monday Night Football game against the Commanders. Then they play the Colts, the Packers, the Titans, the Giants, the Bears, then the Cowboys. So they're. I wonder when he returns. I wanted to question him about that because there are a couple more formidable games. Like he said, right now Washington, they seem like they're trending in the right direction, especially since they changed their quarterbacks. So that's a team in belief right now. I think that the Packers, I mean, you can never really count out Aaron Rodgers despite the troubles that they're
Yes, I can.
out.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
And then,
yes, I can.
And then, honestly, even the Titans game and the Giants game, I know the Giants took a loss, and I'll get on them later. But those are some tough games too, I think, for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, is it possible for them to run the table the way that they're looking? Yes, but they don't have quite an easy path moving forward.
But Dre, you're gonna be favored in every game.
So I mean, I could see you saying that about the Cowboys, but my pick would have been the Giants.
We own the Giants for the last 10 years. We're like, it's something ridiculous. It's like we won the last 26 out of the last 28.
But this is a different Giants team, man. I don't know. Maybe the Giants are front runners right now. You're famous for calling people out right now. So, how do you feel about the teams within the division? Besides, you were telling us about Washington, but how do you feel about the rest of the teams within that division right now?
I tell people with the NFC East, it doesn't matter the record. They're always going to be the type of teams that's going to play everybody tough, not just us, but they play everybody tough. If you look at it from Sunday to Sunday, the NFC East doesn't really get blown out. I mean, the Redskins, well, excuse me, not the Redskins, but the Commanders had they're a team that could typically get blown out when they quit, like later on in the season. But typically, like they beat the Packers, they'll show up and shock you in a way. And that's just how the NFC East is. So I think it's one of the strongest divisions, and it's also record-wise. Look at it. Everybody, I think the Commanders are 4-4. Giants are what, 6-2? Cowboys 6-2. Eagles 7-0. That's by far the best division in football.
That joint's crazy.
Yeah.
Could not have guessed this.
Jalen
Hurts, man. There's been concerns going into the season. AJ Brown was a great move this offseason. Just giving Jalen Hurts weapons. I feel like Jalen Hurts and Tua, they try to put Jalen Hurts and Tua basically in the same boat, where it's like this is probably their last chance before they get shipped out to anywhere else. So basically, this is their quote unquote last shot. But Jalen Hurts looks really, really good. Is he the guy moving forward?
Absolutely. I think the organization is sold on him. I think he took the necessary steps from year one as a starter to year two. You can see his passing is accurate. He's precise. He's throwing players open. They got him a number 1 receiver in AJ Brown. I think Eagles have done right by Jalen Hurts, and I think Jalen Hurts has done right by the Eagles. I think it's a match made in heaven. I think the real question is can the Eagles get a contract this year? And it's important that the Eagles get a contract this year for Jalen Hurts so that they can work him under the salary cap and continue to keep this team together. That's going to be. I don't think it's going to be difficult because typically the way the Eagles work, they normally get people, right before they peak. We did it with Carson Wentz. That's why it was so easy to get out of that deal with Carson Wentz. But Jalen Hurts, I think they will attempt to do the same thing. But I believe Jalen Hurts has earned it, and he will be the future of the Philadelphia Eagles.
So you saying don't be like the Baltimore Ravens right now?
Oh yeah, I don't know what the Ravens are doing, why they would even attempt not to pay Lamar Jackson. He is the heart and soul of the Ravens from a marketing standpoint, from a face of the franchise standpoint, and for them to play around with him and potentially lose him is mind-boggling. I really don't know what it is. I don't know if behind the scenes Lamar Jackson might be a bad guy. I don't know. But what I will tell you is this: they should have been paid that man because now they're gonna have to really pay up. And you can see Lamar Jackson's giving Ravens Nations a couple of hints that I will leave if I don't get my money. And I think they need to go and cut that check.
Does Jalen Hurts have an agent?
Yes, Jalen Hurts has an agent. I don't know. It is probably difficult to get it through Lamar Jackson because when you're the player representing yourself, you hear the bad stuff that they talk about you, when in negotiations. And I think, as you can see, it has an effect on Lamar Jackson because they're basically, there's some uncertainty with the Ravens about who he is as a player. So it's going to be interesting. But also bigger than that, I don't think the Ravens organization has done right by him. I don't think they put the proper weapons around him just enough. Mark Andrews keeps him afloat. They got rid of Hollywood Brown. Wilkins was a dud. Duvernay he's okay. He's decent. I think Bateman's decent, but I think they did the opposite of what the Eagles did. They didn't get him a true number 1, and it showed. It really does show. So I think Lamar Jackson, he might be sitting at home, I guess, with his team or himself saying they haven't done
himself.
They haven't done what they're supposed to do. And I think he's gonna I think if given an opportunity, I think he's gonna leave. The good news is for Raven Nation, they got 2 years to franchise tag him, but I don't know if you want to do that with a quarterback because the number doubles and triples,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
we've seen it with Dak Prescott, and you've seen it with Kirk Cousins too. So you're right. In one situation, one guy left, but the other situation that they were able to keep the guy. But you make a good point about surrounding that quarterback with the necessary weapons. I mean, you see what they did with Joe Burrow. You see what they did with Josh Allen. To at least let's see your quarterback. You're right. I don't think that we've seen the maturation process with both quarterbacks, Jalen and Lamar, but I think that each quarterback needs a guy. And right. The fact that we understood the move from Hollywood, but then we were like, okay, what's subtracted, next? But now we need an addition. So I think that was great for the Eagles to give Jalen AJ Brown. So that way, I mean, it's like a blueprint. You have to see what this quarterback can be once they have that guy to rely on. And when you don't have that person to rely on, I mean, you can't keep relying on Mark Andrews. He needs a receiver. Despite the Ravens and their tight end formation, you still need to be able to go from outside in instead of just only inside out. Well,
and on top of that, you also need a new scheme because I hate to say it, but Hollywood was right. The scheme that they run, man, for the wide receivers in general was just
terrible,
not awful. It's
basic.
It's elementary, my dear Watson. I mean, it's like I watch them. I watch the games. I go to the games most of the times, and they run a high school offense for real. It's no joke. It is no joke.
Yo, Crawford, you go out there and draw that up, man.
Are you available to be an offensive coordinator? We could use your services.
Are you available, brother?
If the money's right, I will drop everything at once. I promise you that. But I will also say, look at the proof in the pudding. Look at Miami. The fact that they gave him Tyreek Hill and gave him Waddle, Tua looks like a whole different quarterback. Now look across to Dallas, where they took away a receiver, and Dak now looks funny in the light. You got the misconception that people don't understand is, and I guess these NFL execs, you have to surround your quarterback with talent. You see that the quarterbacks that are struggling, they have talent. Josh Allen, they got him Stephon Diggs. And they think Josh Allen made a jump. No, he got a number one receiver. You know, don't get me, he grew a little bit, but he had a number one receiver now. He's a whole different quarterback. Garoppolo, they won't don't get me wrong, Debo is a prototypical or unconventional number one, but he's still not that number one receiver who can win constantly against man coverage against the line. You know, they kind of put him in the backfield, run rub routes, you know, and that's why you see Garoppolo kind of stay the same. That's why you see Trey Lance struggle. You have to put a number one receiver with these young quarterbacks. And when you don't, proof's in the pudding.
You don't think the 49ers made a drastic move having Debo and now adding Christian McCaffrey in there along with Kittle?
I think it will work. I think it will work for what they want to do. You know, Kyle Shanahan he's a matchup coach. So in other words, he looks for the matchup week to week. You know, he'll try to get his best athlete in space. But I don't think that it's that type of offense wins in the Super Bowl. I mean, Sean McVay won it. I mean, they run similar. They won it, but you got to remember he has Cooper Kupp. He had Odell Beckham last year. So he had receivers that could win constantly at the line of scrimmage. Cooper Kupp, we know he's a man to man, he's winning, you know, and those are the type of receivers that I believe the 49ers need, and they don't have it. So although I like the 49ers, I'm just curious to find out if that type of system will hold up. It's like the Ravens system. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ravens have a good system. I just don't know if it's going to win deep in the playoffs.
So if you guys were to take on the 49ers, you firmly believe that you guys would beat the 49ers?
Easily.
All right, and then I guess my follow-up question with that is, you were talking about schemes and everything. You don't feel like the Baltimore Ravens right now with their scheme could beat anybody in the playoffs as far as like the Bills or the Chiefs, the Dolphins? If
Lamar Jackson does not play out of his mind, which running and throwing, they don't have a chance. Now, another loss art that people don't realize about the Ravens is their defense is not as good as they were in years past. And when you have a leaky defense and your offense is not putting up at least 25 points a game or struggle to put up 25 points a game consistently, you're going to get these losses, or teams are going to come back on you when you score 40 points and you watch Tua have a field day at the end of the game. So I just think that the Ravens got to get back to the business at hand. They have to retool the defense. As you saw today, they got Roquan Smith. That was a huge get. I think also they got to get healthy, and they have to just get back to playing Ravens football. They got to get the running game. They got to get the running game back. You know, the Ravens kind of the last couple of years been kind of running back by committee, not really by force, but by injury. You know, they have probably one of the worst lucks when it comes to running backs. You know, running backs are always injured. Just ask my fantasy team; they're always hurt. So, but I think the Ravens, they're kind of in a little bit of trouble because I don't think they know how to build this team. This is kind of like, and I don't mean to skip sports, but it's kind of like with the Wizards with John Wall and Bradley Beal. You know, when they got those two going, they didn't really know how to put a team around them. They kind of got stuck and stagnant. You know, that's when they messed up and picked Otto Porter and everything. So I think the Ravens are in the same spot. They got Lamar Jackson. They got Mark Andrews. But they're not really understanding how to do what's next, you know, which leads to a trade with away with Marquise Brown, which leads to them picking Dobbins in the second round. So I don't think they really understand their plan or what they're trying to do.
Do you think that right now with a receiver out there such as Chase Claypool, Brandon Cooks, or even possibly getting Odell, do you think that the Ravens should make a move for one of those guys, or do you think it won't really make a difference?
I think they should. I mean, they really don't have anything, and now that Bateman's hurt, it gets worse. You know, I don't know how many jet sweeps they're going to run Duvernay in for people to start stopping that. You know, Andrews is banged up. It's like, I think it's time for desperation and sign Odell Beckham. That'll probably be the cheapest way to go. Claypool, he hasn't taken that next step. He kind of hit the rookie wall last year, and he really hasn't gotten out of it. Now, to his credit, he hasn't played with the best quarterbacks these last 2 years. Ben Roethlisberger was on his last leg. We know Trubisky's terrible. And the young guy from Pittsburgh, he's trying to figure it out. So right now, so right now, I think he's in no man's land. So it's kind of, you have to take a gamble. But if I was the Ravens and I truly believe that my team was ready, I would go get a receiver.
I actually like Pickett though.
Yeah. He's a nice kid, strong kid, very competitive, accurate. It's just a matter of fact, they're asking him to do too much, I think.
Yeah. I think some frustration built because he had called out the team.
Right.
You can't. Yeah, you're a rookie. You can't be doing that.
Oh boy.
It was too soon, but you could just tell, like, you know, when some people come from a different culture of like a certain standard, I think that he understands that this isn't Pittsburgh Steelers football.
But he comes from that culture. He went to Pitt.
That's right.
He absolutely comes from that culture. But I think one of the problems with the Steelers is that the offensive line, in my opinion, is below average, and they're not getting much production out of Najee Harris, probably for the same reason. So you know, he's gonna force it. He just getting in there. He just trying to get his feet wet. So he's gonna force some things, but it's literally like all they have offensively. Those are the struggles that come with being a rookie with not much around you or protect you.
Right. I agree. I also think Pittsburgh is kind of like Seattle. They did like a silent rebuild, right before your eyes. You really didn't know until the bottom falls out. Like right now when they're 2-5, they've lost a lot of talented players on those Steelers teams that went against Baltimore. That they gave Baltimore a run for their money in the division. That's not the same Steelers. That's not your, how they would say your mom and dad Steelers. That's not our Steelers that we grew up on. That's
right.
It's a whole new team when you look at the names and everything. So I think they're in a rebuild. I think it's, they can't really panic too much, but before they ruin that boy's confidence, the quarterback, they need to scale it back and really help the young kid out.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And that's why I thought they should have started with Mitchell Trubisky for at least for the rest of the year. I thought they should have waited till next year to start Kenny Pickett, but.
And see, I disagreed with Roger. I think that you put the young boy in there, let him go ahead and have those growing pains now. And that way, next year you kind of have something to kind of look forward to. But at least he got that rookie season about him.
Well, I will say this, Dre. Though you have to understand, these next 2 years, it's a quarterback-rich draft. If you're not sure about your quarterback, you cannot go these 2 years and not pick one. You have to, you have to pick one and make a sound decision. Because if they don't, I don't know when the next one's coming, and they might be in trouble. So they have to really find out. I guess it's to what you're saying. You have to find out what you have in Pickett, because you have Bryce Young coming out. You got the boy in Ohio State. The following year, you got PG County's own Caleb Williams. Shout out Caleb. And
DC, what up?
Yeah. So when you got those 3 quarterbacks coming out, you'll be in good shape if you get your hands on them.
So I think for quarterbacks and hell, now head coaches, you got to figure out what you got sooner rather than later, man, because you'll mess around, double down, and be stuck for the next 5 years trying to figure it out. Like,
you'll be like the Colts.
Yeah. So, what you think about Mac Jones and the decision that Bill Belichick made to bench him? I want to say, was that against the Bears? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was against the Bears. Have
you guys heard of the term "the Great White Hope"?
Yeah.
That's Mac,
yeah.
That's Mac Jones. He's even in college, he was never that guy. He was surrounded by a tremendous receiving core at Alabama, tremendous O-line, tremendous running game. Don't get me wrong, he's accurate intermediately from 5 to 10 yards. He's probably as accurate as you can get. But if you're asking Mac Jones to make his receivers, once again, there's a lack of talented receivers in New England. You're going to get these type of results. He's not necessarily a franchise guy. He's a step below Garoppolo. So he's in that same category as Tom Brady, with Tom Brady being a ceiling of what he is, but he's not as talented as Tom Brady nor Garoppolo. And you see it week in, week out, especially when teams take away the intermediate and ask him to throw downfield, he struggles. So
you don't think it has anything to do with his change of offensive coordinator?
Absolutely not. No.
So you're saying he's like a bridge quarterback, basically.
I think he'll be a career backup. He plays. I mean, he plays the game. His game is suited as a backup quarterback, intermediate. If anything, he reminds me of a broke man's Kirk Cousins. Somebody that's going to tear you up.
And he was broke.
Right. So
Vikings 6-1. They're right on y'all heels, though, Crawford. Remember,
I understand. I mean, Kirk Cousins will kill you if you let him sit back there and throw 10 to 15 yards. He'll kill you.
But listen. So, El Crawford, listen. You just said it. You get him a number one guy, and also you get a new young hotshot offensive minded head coach. This is what can happen. Kirk Cousins can look better than what we know Kirk Cousins to be.
But will the NFL allow you to do that? That's the question. It's a quarterback league. They want their quarterbacks to be the face of the franchise. They want him to sling the ball 50 and 30 to 50 yards. Are they going to be patient and really let him be that type of quarterback where it's 10 to 15 yards? I don't think they will. I don't know. The Patriots are a little different, but if that's the case, you gotta upgrade those receivers, because you're asking those receivers to break tackles, to run after catch, and be great. They don't have that. Their two best receivers are Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
And what's the other with Kendrick Bourne, who they're about to ship out probably tomorrow. So,
and they got Parker. They got Parker too.
Yeah, Devontae Parker. I mean, he's decent, but he's had a up and down career in Miami too. So I think that with them, to Mac Jones' credit, they don't have a lot of pieces in New England to be successful long term. But also, he's not them. He's not it. He's not. I don't think Mac Jones is a franchise quarterback. I mean, that's just me.
Well, speaking of franchise quarterbacks, I gotta ask about Justin Fields right now. What do you think about Justin Fields right now? I'm seeing his struggles early in the year, and now he seems to be making some headway.
Well, I think he's a superstar. I think he's a star in the making. I think if the Chicago Bears do right by him and get him an offensive line and some weapons, you might see one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the league. I think he has a higher ceiling than Jalen Hurts. He can run. He can throw. There's nothing to dislike about Justin Fields. And then when you see how criminally he's done in Chicago, where they're not, how do you ask a quarterback in a modern day offense to be under center 70% of the time when he is a prototypical spread offense quarterback? I mean, that just sounds like malpractice to me. So I think there's a lot of things going on in Chicago that doesn't really make sense. They're probably tanking, because for you to put a guy like Justin Fields under center is criminal. So I mean, I'm very high on Justin Fields. I think he's really the future. I think a lot of teams missed him in this past draft. A lot of teams could use him.
What about Russell? The Jets. Can't believe they picked Zach Wilson over this guy.
Oh yeah, the Jets, man.
Can't believe it.
Get started about that.
I can believe it.
What about right now? What's going on with the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson?
Let's ride, brother. Let's ride.
What he did?
He said, "Let's cry. Let's cry."
I think Russell. I mean, as you know, the Philadelphia Eagles were looking at Russell Wilson. It was something that they explored and were linked to with Russell Wilson. And one of the things that kept coming back with in my research with Russell Wilson was the fact that I don't know if football is his number one love anymore. From my understanding, he was really trying to get out of Seattle to get to a market like New York. I think that was his first choice. He really wanted to get to the New York Giants to be in the Big Apple and kind of take his second career on. We got to remember.
What is his second career? I know Sierra's got a career, but what is his second?
I think he has it's something that's to do with production companies and stuff like that. He's real business savvy, almost like LeBron, when it comes to business. They said that that's really his passion and next. And also, I think he wanted a broadcasting career, but I think he's also old. I mean, he's 35, 36 years old. And I might be being
right. They paid him.
I think he's 34. I think he's 34.
He's around that age.
Yeah, about 34.
This is last one. Last ride.
I think he's done. But you gotta follow the tea leaves. What has Richard Sherman, Marshawn Lynch, Brandon Browner, Wagner, what have they been saying for the longest since anybody can remember? They said they were telling us that he was not it. He wasn't him. And they faulted Pete Carroll because they said he coddled and babied Russell his whole career. So when you look at that and you look at what's going on now and look at the success that Seattle has with Geno Smith, he might be the comeback player of the year. I don't care if he was injured or not. It's a story what Geno's doing. But there's something not right about that whole Russell Wilson story. And also, Marshawn Lynch said on a podcast that teammates had to schedule appointments to talk to him. I don't know if you guys were aware of that.
Yeah, that was odd.
Hell no, I ain't hear about that.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so when
podcast, and I think I want to say it was him and Sherman together.
Yeah, him and Sherman together.
Whose podcast was this?
I believe it was Sherman's podcast.
Yeah, it was Sherman's podcast.
Sherman has a real hot podcast right now.
And and Marshawn said that he's reached out to Russ because of what's going on, but then that's how they got into the whole you got to schedule appointments to talk to him, and that was wild hearing that noise.
Is Sierra his publicist? Got to reach out to her.
Hey, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I just don't know how into football Russell Wilson is right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. He pulled out he played great he played great late in the London game. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch that. But he played great late. He did a signature deep ball to KJ Hamler and got them a W, but he doesn't look that good in Denver. And Denver has some talent, They have some very talented receivers. So I'm not really sure why.
I take Jared Judy right now.
That's an underachieving team right now, man.
I have an idea. I think I know. I think it's a couple things. I think number one, expectations was entirely too high to begin with if you're adding a first year head coach, period, and Russell Wilson being his first year in Denver. I think the expectations was entirely too high to begin with. And also, I think his head coaches ain't over his head. I don't think he knows how to manage time. I don't think he knows how to manage a team. I think offensive coordinator was his ceiling. Some coordinators should not be head coaches. And I think the Denver Broncos swung and missed with this head coach. And I think he's affecting the team. And also, to the point of Richard Sherman and all the other guys, Russell Wilson is not that guy who's going to lead it, who's really leading a team and uplifting a team. Because like you said, there's talent. They got a lot of young talent on offense and defense. The Denver Broncos have looked like a top 10, top 5 defense. And they probably should their record should be reversed, honestly. But offensively, they're just lacking. And I don't who's the offensive coordinator over there?
I'm not sure, but I know he's not doing a pretty good job right now.
He's not. But I think the head coach is in over his head as well, and that's not helping.
Yeah, agree.
I can see that.
What do you think about right now? The Browns, they just got a victory Monday night against the Bengals, but eventually they do have to insert Deshaun Watson. Do you think that that'll make any difference with that Browns team? Maybe not this year, but at least moving forward.
You ever heard of saying "hold on"? That's all they're doing is holding on, and they're hoping that they can get Deshaun Watson, Mr. Massage himself. They hope they can get him back so he can massage that offense and massage their whole team. But I mean, I think that in all seriousness, I think Deshaun Watson is going to change if he can get back. I think he's going to change that whole franchise. They just have to hold on. It's kind of bad timing because they're going to have to get rid of Kareem Hunt because they're not going to have the money to pay him, and he wants more carries. But if Chubb can stay healthy, Mari Cooper's going to be there. I think the Browns, their defense is decent. They're on the cusp of being an elite defense. I think when they get an elite quarterback, the Browns going forward, if he could just ride the storm out because as you saw, like last week, another one came out, and I feel like whoever or whatever is not going to stop until they get him out of this league. So I mean, if he can get past, I think the Browns are going to be really good.
El Crawford, I got to ask you about your boy LeBron before I get you out of here, brother. He gonna break their scoring record? Is this it? Is this the end for LeBron, or is the Lakers just all what they are at this point? He's just chasing stats.
All right. So with the Lakers, absolutely he's going to break. He's definitely going to break the scoring record. That's already given. God forbid any injury. Knock on wood. But as far as him and this team, the Lakers team, I mean, I think it's very simple. LeBron James, this pains me to say I'm a number one fan, but he's at the end of his career. And I think people are not really ready for that. It's because they don't understand what that looks like. Michael Jordan with the Wizards, that's kind of like the kind of phase that LeBron James is going into, where you saw with the Wizards, he can win a couple games, but he can't really carry a team night in and night out. The stats look good, but LeBron can't really carry him. You saw how this last when Russell Westbrook was able to give them a big jump start of energy and passion, and they kind of fed off of that. Now, can LeBron do that, a couple nights? Yeah, but when it comes to every night on a nightly basis, the Lakers better make a trade. If it was up to me, I would get rid of Russell Westbrook first, and I would really consider about trading Anthony Davis, because you're going to have to reset it and get younger and really get people that can kind of carry the load. Anthony Davis, I mean, I love Anthony Davis as a player, but I don't think you can depend on him. As you can see him now through 5 games, every game he winces in pain like he's about to be out for the season. It's coming. Like, everybody knows
every time.
One of these days, just tell me he's going to miss 10 to 15 days on 15 games. So I think right now they need to trade him while it's hot and really reconstruct this team. I mean, they don't have a first round pick for the next until I'm 50, so they're in a little bit of trouble. But I think, LeBron, I don't think LeBron James can carry this team to the playoffs. Now they might get on a roll. One thing about basketball, people get a little too caught up in the beginning of the season. A lot of teams struggle in the beginning of the season. They kind of catch their stride and do well. But just looking at him and what he's playing around. I mean, I don't know if y'all heard Miles Turner what he said today. He said, if I was the Lakers, I'd trade for me and Buddy Hield right now. So
because he wants to be a Laker. That's why.
Yeah, he said I want out of here.
The Lakers don't want to give up that first round pick and I mean, at this point,
2 first round picks. You mean both of them?
You can see the relationship is just diminished between Westbrook and the Lakers, and I know you've called out Russell Westbrook in the past. So
he's a loser. He's like Melo. He's a loser, a natural loser.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, I got the same energy. He's a loser, but.
And I'm happy we got you on the show because you're here and I got to eat crow. I remember years ago, when he was putting up the triple-double and it was me, you, and Cavante, and many a days going back and forth. And I was like, no, I was like, he's putting up these numbers, and you were like, watch. You were like, watch, Dre, them triple doubles, they not what you think. Sure enough, I thought
that at his finest.
I thought he would really make a difference with LeBron James. I'm thinking that this Lakers team, they could really make some noise, and it's just been a total disaster ever since. And then not only that, with Anthony Davis, since he got his championship, he just seems content. So I agree. I think both of them got to go.
I think the Lakers are also trying to sabotage LeBron. I think they know that LeBron James is about to leave, and he has his heart or eyes set on being an owner. There's been rumblings that he's trying to get that Seattle franchise. There's rumblings that he's really looking into that Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did say Vegas before. Yeah.
So I think the Lakers know he might get that pretty sooner than later, because you see how he's now on the billion. Forbes, he's a billionaire now, and he got investment groups and stuff. So I think what the Lakers are looking at is like, we're not about to trade away all these assets when you're about to be gone, and you're about to leave us back in purgatory. You know how the Lakers were, before LeBron got there. So I think that's the reason why you see the Lakers not really trying to make any moves, because I don't think they have any faith that LeBron's going to stay.
Well, I mean, he did sign the extension though, so he's there for at least 2 more seasons.
Wouldn't you, Dre?
Then Kobe.
You're right, and Kobe and everybody else. He's gonna sign it.
Yeah, you're gonna sign them extensions. You gotta
Russell Westbrook said he wanted out of LA, but what he do? He opted in, right? You know, so you're not gonna leave money on the table.
Yeah, that is. You're right. That is true. What do you think though? I mean, right now, who is the bigger disappointment? Is it the Lakers or the Nets right now? Because both teams are 1-5.
I think it's the Lakers. I think, and the reason why I say the Lakers over the Nets is because the Lakers really didn't do anything in the offseason that said they were trying to win. You know, everybody knew going into the offseason last year that the Lakers needed shooters. They got absolutely none of them. We knew
they
that
did get better defensively though.
I mean, they did, but that's given. What else are those players going to do? You know. So, I think that with the Nets, I mean, this is what you expect. That they have 2 of the most fragile superstars in the NFL. I'm talking about
personality superstars.
Yeah.
Right. So it's Kevin
Durant. Possibly 3. All 3 might be fragile.
Oh yeah, 3 if you had Ben Simmons, because all 3 of them are not the best leaders in the world. And Kyrie, he might be too woke. You know, he's trying to. I mean, I'm with the activists, but sometimes like everybody has that friend that goes overboard, and he's that friend that conspires everything. So I mean, with Kyrie Irving, I think he's not pressed to play basketball, and I think he's one of those athletes that can walk away from the game and not feel anything at all. So when it comes to vaccines, when it comes to what they're doing now, he's subject to say, I'm out of here. Kevin Durant feels I mean, Kevin Durant knows, because that's why he was trying to really get out of there. But then you trade for Ben Simmons, and we all know Ben Simmons, he might have to write a tell-all book for us to really sit down. It might be Surviving Ben Simmons, because he don't want to play. He doesn't want to play. He hasn't been playing, and he's basically just stealing money. I mean, don't get me wrong, he has a cool job, but you put those 3 together, what do you expect? I mean, I think they'll make noise eventually, because there are 3 talented individuals. But when it comes to what's up there in the head, it can go left at any minute. But the Lakers is by far the biggest disappointment.
I mean, I feel bad for. I kind of feel bad for all parties around, because you could just see like Kevin Durant was, like you said, was trying to get out of there, and it's just like nope, they were like, no, you ain't going nowhere. Kyrie Irving, this might be his last big contract for real. And,
he's not paying.
And Ben Simmons,
bro.
Ben
anytime
Simmons,
you talk about,
anytime
you talk about the guys with the hats and the Blues Brothers suits, it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go right for you. It's just not.
I mean, honestly, did the 76ers, did they really win the trade either? Because they right now, what is James Harden right now contributing to the 76ers?
Well,
they won tonight, that's for sure.
I mean,
but is it not? But their goal with the Philadelphia 76ers was to win a championship. They're not.
They still on target with that goal.
Yeah, I think if Embiid's health can, he's just like Anthony Davis. If his health can survive, I think they'll be in good shape. But it feels like every time they get close, he gets hurt.
Well, I mean, last year, he did get hurt last year.
He tore his MCL, right, or tore his ligament. Remember he played through it.
It was some weird injury, but I mean, it was also falling on James Harden too. I mean, James Harden didn't carry his weight of the load either. He was supposed to be the 1-2 punch, and they looked good early on, but then when it came to playoffs,
well, he's 33. His quickness has kind of went down a little bit, so now people can kind of stay in front of him a little bit more. The step back, the league has really adapted to it. So I think, with kind of the Sixers, James Harden got old overnight, and he's never been in the best shape of his career or shape of his life. We know how he parties with little baby. Never. We know he's a strip club warrior. He's one of the all-time greats.
And what else is he, Al Crawford? What else is he?
He's a loser.
A loser.
Let's clarify for the people out there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Al Crawford has a list of losers. This all started some years ago when we already went through James Harden. We've talked about Russell Westbrook, and there's one more person on that list who L. Crawford loves to call loser. And
James
right now,
Harden.
he's not even playing in the league, and that's Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, Melo, he's the leader.
Baltimore. Don't do that to Baltimore.
All team loser. He's on the all-time. I mean,
loser team.
I still don't want to believe you with Carmelo, man. Carmelo.
No, I'm there. You know I'm there. I've had many debates with Mikhail.
Contributions last year to the Los Angeles Lakers. He should be again with the Lakers, because like you said, we need shooting. You can get Melo.
Melo need to focus on his son, man. His son got good talent. I see him working on that step back. I see him working on the jab step. He need to focus on his son. I mean, Melo. The thing about Melo, in all seriousness, I mean, he's a tremendous talent. I mean, when you talk about somebody that can put the ball through the hole, that's Melo all day. His issue is with his talent, he never was much of a leader. You know, he was always kind of just somebody out there to get hits. He didn't make anybody better. He didn't play defense. So when it came to the playoffs where everything slowed down, it was time to play defense. He didn't, and that's why a lot of his teams lost. I mean, he had Chauncey Billups, but they ran into a Kobe team that was probably one of the best teams of the era of from the 2010s and on. So I mean, he just ran into Kobe, but as far as leadership, that's never been Carmelo Anthony. Now, is he probably a great teammate? He's probably a great teammate. You know, I wouldn't doubt that. It's just when it comes to elite leadership or championship leadership, Melo doesn't have that.
That's true.
Damn, man. I was hoping that some of these cats would get rings, but it don't seem like none of them are going to get them.
You could thank LeBron personally.
And Steph Curry.
And Steph, yeah.
Well, I always figured Melo, if there was one team he should join, it should have been the Golden State Warriors. I thought he would really make a good fit with them coming off the bench.
It should have been Miami, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
L. Crawford, how can the people keep up with you, brother?
You can go to my Twitter at L. Crawford. Facebook's also L. Crawford. You can find me out there. You can find me for my Baltimore. We got my little league team. We have a game out Pikesville for the semifinals to go to the Super Bowl. I went back down to 10U, got the babies, and so you guys come out to Northwest Regional. It's in Owen Mills. That's basically what I got going on right now.
Hey,
So
man,
it's
you better hurry up. You
been on
got
that 3 weeks, 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row, especially with a new group.
I know, brother. You know, it's good seeing you out there. You know, holding it down.
Trying.
Brandon, I think you got like 90 days, brother, if you want to get that blue check mark before they start taxing you.
I know. I'm about to put my bid in.
Hey, Elon can take our money to be verified.
Hey, yo, Crawford, before you go, yo, I've been on record saying that, and this is me being in my short time being in my managerial role at work. I propose that the Brooklyn Nets need to put Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons on work plans because they do not come to perform and they have a tendency to check out. If I can put it that way, they need to put something in writing saying, hey, you need to play this percentage of games, this percentage of time, or your money is in jeopardy, because that seemed to be the only thing that they respond to.
Well,
wait a minute. Who did you say was on that list again, Cravante, before L. Crawford responds?
Brooklyn Nets, the work plan for Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons.
You know who you need? You add Kawhi Leonard to that list too.
Well, he had some clout. He had some cachet.
Sure.
Kyrie and Ben Simmons, on the other hand, not so much.
Well, I mean, Kyrie is a world champion as well, so.
But he didn't lead that team.
But he damn sure made the biggest shot to get that. He
did. But we know who led that team.
Shoot, I think it's gonna be tough.
And ain't done nothing since.
It's gonna be tough getting Ben Simmons on there with all those HIPAA laws. He might be. They don't want to touch that. But as far as Kyrie Irving, definitely, because he's subject to wake up one day and say, "I'm never want to play again."
Yo, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, yo. And I've been on record saying like, yo, he's cool with walking away. We talk about Russell Wilson possibly not having football be number one in his life. Basketball for damn sure not Kyrie's number one thing.
No.
Nope.
And he's fine with leaving it. He's fine with leaving his career the way it is. So that's the scary part. But I don't know what the Nets are going to do. And I think nobody in the NBA is going to give them top quality for Kyrie either. Everybody knows that. I mean, I guess they think he's crazy. People in the NBA thinks, Kyrie man. So it'll be tough trading him.
I swore that he was going to the Lakers. I swear.
I think the only person that will take him is LeBron.
And he still might come to the Lakers. You never know.
Yeah.
Well, El Crawford, we appreciate you, brother. Give it up for El Crawford one more time. Make sure y'all follow him, support him, and the football coaching dynasty he's building out there on the third straight trip to Florida yet again. El Crawford, brother, we appreciate it. We got to do it again.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you.
What's up, bro?
Appreciate you. All right, let's get into week 8 real quick and get these picks for week 9. Give our game ball, not so game ball. We had Browns won tonight, so let's go back to week 8. Started on Thursday night with the Ravens winning 27-22 over the Buccaneers. London Broncos 21-17 over Jaguars. Eagles, El Crawford's Eagles beat the Steelers 35-13. Cowboys turn it up offensively 49-29 over the Bears. Saints blowing out the Raiders 24-0. Dolphins come back, beat the Lions again 31-27. Patriots beat Q's Jets 22-17. Vikings improve to 6-1, 34-26. Falcons in overtime rise up 37-34 over the Panthers. Derrick Henry running wild over the Texans 17-10. Seahawks beat the Giants 27-13. Commanders 17-16 over the Colts. 49ers beat the Rams again 31-14. Bills beat the Packers 27-17. And on Monday night, the Browns blow out the Bengals 32-13. Game ball, not so game ball. Go ahead, Raj.
My game ball goes to Eric DeCosta, man. I know it's not on the field, but damn it, he came through in the clutch, man, with getting Roquan Smith. You don't get no bigger than that, man. That tells me that you're trying to go for it all. You're trying to go for the Super Bowl this year. And Roquan Smith for that game ball goes to my guy, our GM here in Baltimore, Eric DeCosta. My not so game ball has to go to if I had to give a not so game ball, probably the damn. I don't know. Come back to me with that one.
Come on, man.
I don't have a not so game ball just yet. Just come back to me. I'll think of one.
There's so many to choose from.
Go ahead.
All right. My not so game ball has to go to the Carolina Panthers because my heavens, I don't understand how
my heavens, I love it.
And the thing is, I picked these guys to win. They could have won the damn game, and this damn fool can't hold his urges and takes off his helmet. Like, come on.
I'm gonna talk about it later, Dre. I'm gonna talk about it later, brother.
You are a professional. You don't know no better, brother. Messed up my damn picks with that foolishness. But nevertheless, that's my not so game ball, just foolish. And then my game ball has to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Particularly AJ Brown. He had double coverage 3 times and managed to still 3 out of 6 catches, still was able to score a touchdown. Hats off to him. Hats off to the Philadelphia Eagles and what they've been able to do thus far in the season. Right now, Philadelphia is on fire. They got the Phillies in the World Series. You got the Eagles doing real good. So, Philadelphia right now, they're heading in the right direction. The 76ers, we don't know about, but we shall see. Trust me, there's plenty of not so game balls to go around, but the Panthers one is just the most egregious one thus far, outside of maybe the Bengals right now, where they lack with their season worst right now in everything. Yards, first downs, rushing, point differential, and points. When they took on the Browns tonight, it was just bad tonight with the Browns.
You know what?
Go ahead, Rod.
I do got one. I just thought about it. God damn it! And I picked this team to actually beat New England, and I had no business doing that, man.
Yeah,
They done
you're
beat
right.
them boys.
You're right.
13 straight, and not even lost 14 straight to New England. Them New York Jets get my not so game ball, man. My goodness, man. You start out the season, on fire defensively. And don't get me wrong, they played pretty good defensively against New England because, of course, Mac Jones struggled or whatnot. But Zach Wilson, man.
Trash,
Wilson
yo. Trash.
is garbage.
Trash, yo.
Garbage.
And you know what? Q said it at the beginning of the season. He has no faith in him at all. He thinks they're going
We
to
said
get
it before the draft.
Yeah, he said it. Yeah, he said it back then. So, yeah, man. The New York Jets, man, they still without, and they're gonna be without for the rest of the season. They're gonna probably make the playoffs, but Jesus, man, when you got a quarterback like Zach Wilson, man, it just hurts. It hurts because you could have easily won that game, but I mean, hey,
Garbage.
it is what it is. The New York Jets get my
Trash,
national
bro.
game ball, and you know what the funny part is they're gonna stick with him for the rest of the season, I guess, to see what they have, but we already know what they have.
Yeah,
They
My
always
national
are.
game ball goes to the Jets.
we said this before the draft. He wasn't going to do anything. And
Yes, we
honestly,
did.
though,
Yes,
they
we
kind
did.
of got hosed, though, on that roughing the passer call. But that could be goofy of the week in itself because they probably would have won that game if they didn't get that roughing the passer call. But I'll leave it alone. Cavante, start low and high.
Hey, man, watching the LA Rams spiral is rough to watch, man. It is absolutely rough to watch. It is night and day. From the Super Bowl championship to now, my heavens, they look bad. They look really, really bad. And it's almost, I know Aaron Donald got to be looking like, well, he got paid, but I know he's like, man, I came back for all this. We supposed to run it back. But he got paid, so he cool. So yeah, that's the LA Rams just look bad. And not even just this week, just overall, it just looked really, really bad. So that's my not so game ball. Honorable mention. I probably should have said this first, but an honorable mention. The NFL, or I don't know who's in control of it. I think it's the NFL. Drug testing my man AJ Brown. What's up with y'all, yo? Talk about a random drug test after my man had the game of the season. Now all of a sudden you want a random drug test, man? Shut up. It ain't nothing random about that mess. But game ball. My gosh, game ball. Hey, man. And this is also alluding to not just this week, but kind of the season. The wide receivers, mainly the top two for the Miami Dolphins, man. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are two top 5 receivers in the NFL right now. I believe Tyreek Hill leads in all categories thus far, and Jalen Waddle is not far behind. And they are doing wonders with Tua's growth and development, which is something Tua needed drastically. And shout out to Jalen Waddle. When he scores, he does a dance. You know what it's called? The Waddle. I think it's amazing. He scores, he does this little thing with like a penguin and stuff. I think that's so cool. But yeah, man.
It wasn't cool week 2, though. It wasn't cool.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Especially how fast it came and out of nowhere. Yeah, that was not cool at that point. But my gosh, him and Tyreek Hill are having a very cool season. And a huge reason why the Miami Dolphins are 5-3. Oh yeah, those are my game ball, not so game ball.
Dre, real quick, what's up with your Raiders, man? I wanted to throw that game, not so game ball to them. They like they quit.
I I have them on there too. Derek Carr didn't even make it past midfield, man. I just don't understand. No, that's an honest assessment. I don't understand whatsoever what the hell is going on with this team when you put all these pieces around Derek Carr to make it to the next level, and yet the quarterback is the hold up when he was the carrier last year. Like,
and I had him on my fantasy team yesterday. You know how many points he scored me?
1.3. 0.3.
He scored me 1 point.
Damn near zero. Shit.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I just don't understand. I just don't. Excuse me for cussing y'all, but I mean, I just don't.
It made me cuss yesterday, but the 1 point that I got.
I just don't understand how you carried the team last year, and now you're the reason this team isn't doing anything, and then you wonder why Devontae Adams up here pushing random people because cameramen and whatnot, because I'm doing my part, but damn it, you're not doing your part. I came here for you. For all this, I could have stuck in Green Bay. I don't know if it's the coach. I don't know what's going on, but right now, they've taken a huge step back.
And I know we'll talk about this more. As I said, we'll be live next Monday for the Ravens game. That New Orleans defense is damn good, and they got some weapons on offense. It is an easy game for the Ravens, especially without some of their key pieces. Bateman, that's why getting Roquan Smith is huge. And hopefully, like you said, Raj, EDC is not done. Maybe we get some news tomorrow. I may try to go live tomorrow in the trade deadline around 4. So hit the bell, let us know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And let's play a message from our sponsor, Fanatics, because you got to get your gear as we head towards November. And we'll be back with Cavante's Goofies of the Week. We'll be right back. Breaking news here on the Flex Zone Podcast YouTube channel, the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. We are proud to announce we have partnered with Fanatics.com, and they are the official sponsor of the Flex Zone Podcast. That's right, Fanatics, your home for all your sports apparel, has decided to partner with the Flex Zone Podcast. Let me tell you more. We always talk about here on the Flex Zone Podcast that confidence is key. And when you have confidence, you can accomplish anything, and you stand out from the rest. Stand out from the rest by going to our special link and clicking it and supporting not only Fanatics, but when you help out Fanatics and click this link, you help out your favorite sports podcast, the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. We are the head of the sports podcast table. We are the ones, and make sure you acknowledge us. Fall is here, and football season is in full swing. And our friends at Fanatics have decided to partner with the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. The Flex Zone Podcast for all your sports apparel needs. Get your officially licensed gear from the NFL, NBA, and NCAA. And now Fanatics is proud to announce they are the official apparel sponsor of the WWE. And you know we here at the Flex Zone Podcast love some good old wrestling. And you too could be the man of 1,000 t-shirts. With the holidays approaching, birthdays, anniversaries, or just that special gift for that special someone, Fanatics has it all. Sports memorabilia, trading cards, NFTs, and of course, all your favorite sports teams. Leagues in the United States, leagues out of the United States. Fanatics has it all. Use the special link down below. Support not only Fanatics, but the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. So Fanatics can continue to sponsor and work with the Flex Zone Podcast for days, for weeks, for months, and years to come. Do what God's favorite host says do. And that's right, click that link down below. Go to Fanatics.com. Support the Flex Zone Podcast. You're head of the sports podcast table. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Fanatics.com. All your apparel needs in one place. And they are the title sponsor of the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Big shout out to Fanatics. Hit the link. It's pinned down below. Get your NFL gear, NBA gear, NCAA, and so much more. But this month, it gives you more each and every week. It's Cavante's Goof of the Week.
Man. Interesting week in football. Well, first things first. Welcome to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time. But let me tell the good people what I thought was goofy this week. So I have a couple things. One was a end game thing, and one is my thoughts on an overall thing. Of course, I have my. I think the Jets can go back on this card. I think between the Jets and the Packers, green. I don't know who's going to remain the sponsor for the rest of the year, but if we're doing it week to week, I think the Jets should go right back on here. And red. The Commanders are doing a lot better. The Falcons are leading the NFC South. Raj, what am I to do? Who's going to represent this red? I don't know. But
well, I mean, maybe the red could stand for bull, for the bull drivers.
Yeah, the bull drivers. Because goddamn it, Dre, that's what's been going on, man. So speaking of the Falcons, my first goofy of the high level variety, the egregious, the one we need to sit down and have a conversation or two about. DJ Moore, the lone receiver left in Carolina, made a phenomenal play towards the end of the NFC South matchup between the Panthers and the Falcons in hot Atlanta. Atlanta was up 6 points, and PJ Walker. Shout out to PJ Walker, man. What a dime he threw, 60+ yards right in the breadbasket of DJ Moore, who made a phenomenal catch, and scored the touchdown to tie the game up at 34-34. Now, usually after a touchdown, you have the option of kicking an extra point or going for two. And they decided to kick the extra point, but they got pushed back a little bit. By a little bit, I mean 15 yards. Now, for those of y'all that's been under a rock for football, the extra point is not like the old extra point. The extra point is like a legit field goal now. I think it's about 33 yards. So when DJ Moore does something very goofy, like take his helmet off after scoring a touchdown, you get a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and it's of the 15-yard variety. So 33 plus 15, we're at about 48-yard field goal, which is no gimme with how bad kicking has been over the past couple years. And the good brother missed the field goal. Okay, he missed the game-winning field goal. Yes, he's a kicker, 48 yards. He had one job. Yes, he's still supposed to come through. But DJ Moore, brother, you are the epitome of taking one step forward and 2 steps back, because you made a phenomenal play to tie the game and give your team a golden opportunity to win the game. But you take 2 steps back by pushing your kicker 15 yards back and making an extra point, a 48-yard field goal, which they went on to miss. And I think the kicker missed another field goal in overtime, but
he did.
Confidence was shot pretty much after that. But DJ Moore, you can't have that happen. The Carolina Panthers have not looked great this year, and one thing you can't do as a team that's already below average is find ways to beat yourself, because you've been beaten up enough by the rest of the NFL, and you're finding ways to kick your own self. But very, very goofy. And of course, the Falcons go on to not falcon, but win the football game, because if they didn't, they probably would have been the Goofies of the week for giving up such a bomb to the Carolina Panthers and losing the game. But somehow they win, and the Carolina Panthers become Goofies of the week. Boom. It happens just like that. Next. Yes, another week. the low-level goofies don't get any love, because this is also an egregious topic that I want to discuss. Poor coaching. And there are two guys that I want to talk about specifically. One guy who I feels like is in over his head, and that's Nathaniel Hackett. Another guy who before this game on Sunday, I thought was doing okay. But after the Sunday game, I feel like he might be in over his head too. And that's Josh McDaniels. How in the hell you put up a goose egg? You start with a goose egg. How the hell you finish with a goose egg? You're the offensive guy. You got Derek Carr. You got Devontae Adams. You got Josh Jacobs. At the very least, y'all should be putting up 24, 25 plus points every week. And the defense be the reason y'all lose. Not the offense, because you're the expert. Offense is your expertise. You're not supposed to be going into the game and not putting up nothing. Now, give respect to the New Orleans Saints defense. It is one of the better defenses in the league. But goddamn it, I don't think they're that good to be goose egging folks, handing out Krispy Kreme donuts. That ain't them. But I think Josh McDaniels, I think there's just some guys who should stay coordinators. And I think Nathaniel Hackett, who's been jacking this off since week one with his lack of time management skills and lack of, leadership and being a leader of men qualities is lacking severely. I think both of these guys are in over their head. And Josh McDaniels, this is your second shot at this. Yeah, we didn't forget about the Denver Broncos, how you washed out of there. And it's looking like you probably should just go back to New England. Because it's just not working out. And I hate to be hard on guys that are year one. Well, granted, again, Josh McDaniels, this is not his first go-around being the head coach, but I do think Nathaniel Hackett is absolutely in over his head. I think the regression for Russell Wilson is, I don't want to believe it. You're not going to tell me this guy was an elite quarterback not even a year ago, and now he's falling completely off the cliff. I refuse to believe that. I do think he might have taken a step back, Russell Wilson, that is, but he is still at the I think at the lowest he's a B quarterback, B plus. But Nathaniel Hackett is a straight up D minus F, yo. That's what his grade is as a coach, and I think him and Josh McDaniels will be looking for employment in the near future. They're messing up the development of their offenses, their quarterbacks. I mean, it's bad to see. It's absolutely bad to see. And I feel like as coordinators coming into a head coaching role, at the very least, get your side of the ball together. And neither one have done it. And more so, they've been piss poor at it, like tragically bad. And I don't think neither one of them will have a job after this year. I'm not saying both of them will be fired. I think Nathaniel Hackett is out. Like they were talking about, if he'd have lost to the Jaguars, he probably would have been out now. But I don't think he's gonna make it through after this year. Josh McDaniels might squeak by, but neither one of them deserve to be a head coach, and they are clearly showing it. So, boom, those are my goofies of the week. The two head coaches, the two latest head coaches of the AFC. What's that? The AFC West, and DJ Moore Wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and all these brothers are on the wrong end of it. Got to do better.
Thank you for that, Cavante, and his Goofies of the Week. If you see something goofy, let us know. And we'll talk about it here on the show. Drizzy Dre, next week, we're doing something special. We'll be on a little earlier.
Well, wait a minute, hold up. We got one more thing we got to do. We didn't go through the games.
Oh, we got to do picks. Okay.
I guess we can tell the people, we'll come back for the picks.
You want to come back or you want to do them? We can do them now. Don't matter.
Up to y'all. Y'all
right.
I think.
We can
well,
them real quick.
When would we come back? It would be my question.
I mean, I guess we can run through them real quickly, y'all.
Okay.
All right,
we got Thursday night.
Maybe we have to do it. Maybe we don't have to do every game. I don't know. Make a suggestion.
No, just a few games.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, I was going to do it for your sake, Dre. So we have to put them on text. You just write them down real quick.
Fair. Also fair.
Make it easy. Make it easy for you.
Yeah. Either way, it'll be work.
Texans. I think Texans, Eagles. We all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Eagles. Yes.
Next.
Colts, Patriots. I think we all agree on that.
Patriots. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Packers, Lions. This could go either way, but I'm gonna go Packers.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with the Lions on this one. I think.
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
I'll go with the Packers as well.
Chargers against the first place Falcons. Rise up.
Oh gosh.
What is Chargers against the who?
Falcons. Chargers. Falcons.
Oh.
Jesus.
It's at home with the Falcons, but the Chargers could make some noise.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I'm tempted. To go Falcons at home. What is Herbert's health?
Probably the same as Ben. He's probably been dealing with that injury all year. But both.
I'm gonna say Falcons.
The Falcons going to Falcons and Chargers going to Chargers. Who does more of what?
Chargers.
I'm going Chargers.
I'll go Chargers.
All right. So I'm the only one out here with Falcons. Okay.
Bills, Jets. I'm going Bills.
Bills.
Everybody going with the Bills.
Vikings against the Commanders from Landover. Cavante, you gonna do it?
No, I'm not going to do it. I would love to see it, but I'm not going to do it. Minnesota Vikings are on the top tiers of the NFC, and this is a game we have no business winning.
I'm going Vikings.
Yeah, I think the whole team going to Vikings.
Yeah, first cousins, baby. I told El Crawford look out for them Vikings. Panthers, Bengals. This could go either way, but I'm gonna go Bengals.
It could go either way. Oh gosh.
Why
are they favored by 8.5?
Who, the Bengals?
Yeah. My gosh, I'll take the Panthers to cover next week. But
the Bengals, it's going to be at home. I say the Bengals.
I'm going Bengals as well. They got to get a bounce back.
Yes, Bengals.
Oh, somebody got to win.
Raiders, Jaguars. Shit, I think I'm gonna go to Jaguars, yo. I ain't gonna hold you. Jaguars. I'll stamp that. Jaguars.
I'm going with the Jaguars too.
I think it's universal on that one.
Yeah, we'll go Jaguars. I don't believe in the Raiders. Dolphins, Bears. We can go Dolphins. Tua is on fire.
Yep, Dolphins. Ooh. The Bears are having a fire sale.
Yes, they are.
Seahawks.
Now
Cardinals.
It is in Chicago.
I'm gonna say the Hawks.
You going with the Seahawks?
With the Hawks. Oh gosh.
Who they play? Who do the Seahawks play?
Seahawks in Arizona against the Cardinals. Seahawks are a road team.
Seahawks.
I'm going Seahawks. Cardinals.
I'm going to go
Cardinals.
I'm going Cardinals as well.
I'm going Cardinals. D-Hop is playing amazing, even though they suck. Rams.
Metcalf going to catch them.
Rams, Buccaneers. Oh my goodness.
I'm going Buccaneers.
I guess I'm going with the Bucs because they're at home, but both teams look terrible.
Yeah, damn. They're both teams. Like you said, both teams suck. I mean, they can't. Neither side looks good for either of these teams. I I'm a roll with the Bucks, so they need a bounce back. So everybody's saying the Bucks.
Mhm.
Titans, Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, everybody should go Chiefs.
Chiefs, of course.
My man Patty Mahomes had the week off. You already know how Andy Reid is on the off the bye. Come on now, and they at home.
And last but not least, we have Ravens, Saints. We'll be here live for that next week. But time for predictions. It's gonna be a tough one.
And I will be at Fridays for that game, but I will be on live, of course. But of course, I'm going to have to pick the Ravens. I mean, they could. No, I'm picking the Ravens. I ain't gonna say it. I'm picking the Ravens.
I'm going Ravens. I'm going down with the ship. Oh, I ain't going down, but yeah, I'm picking.
I think the whole team probably picked the Ravens on this one. So.
I have to. I have to pick the Ravens, but it's in New Orleans. It may be some cooking. Tell Lamar don't eat no jambalaya before the game.
Here's a fun fact, though. They only beat us one time since our existence.
Mm-hmm.
Only once.
All right.
Well, Dre, next week we'll be on a little early. Let the people know what we'll be doing to watch the Ravens.
Hey, y'all. I mean, I'm looking forward to a Monday Night Football. We'll be here live representing Ravens Nation Stand Up. So tune in, y'all. You already know it's going to be a good time. We're going to talk football. We're going to go through week 9, give our week 10 predictions. But, of course, we're going to be live broadcasting. So if you guys are entertained by Eli and his brother, then definitely you guys will definitely be entertained with the Flex Zone next week.
Yeah, so we'll recap the week that was, talk about the game that's going on, give our picks. We'll probably have some goofies thrown in there. And Raj, what can they look forward to on the channel this week? How can they keep up with us? And all that fun stuff here on the Flex On Podcast YouTube.
Well, please stay tuned because we're going to have some, I guess tomorrow, trade deadline for the NFL is coming, so we might do a video on that. Who knows? Definitely, though, AEW on Dynamite on Wednesday at 8. We'll be live streaming that. I don't know if you're doing SmackDown this week or not. Probably not.
Probably will be doing SmackDown. We'll have Crown Jewel. I may not be there, but we'll have Crown Jewel on the channel. We'll have a prediction video coming at some point this week, so hit the bell.
Right, and of course, hit the bell for all the notifications. We're gonna have a lot of content coming, basically. So, do what y'all usually do: hit the bell, hit the bell notifications, like, and hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend, to tell another friend, and hit that Fanatics, to get your gear. And if you want to hit that Cash App, donate to the Flex Zone podcast. Hit that Cash App and donate.
Dre, how can they start the day with a cup of Dre and catch you on WA as well?
Hey, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Good morning, Baltimore. You already know. And then every Monday, you already know where I'm at the Flex Zone.
Again, Flex On Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it, fellas.
When you need
it.
Follow us, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, hit the like button, hit the bell, hit subscribe. Till next time, y'all. For next Monday, the Monday Night Football will be here with you. Probably for over 3 hours. Monday Night Football, recapping the week that was. Raj will be at Fridays. We'll watch him eat his food and do so much more. Have fun. And until next time, y'all, for Dre, for Cavante, for Raj, and myself, shout out again to El Crawford showing up. Show some love to our brother. Follow him and support his youth team as they go to Florida for the 3rd straight season. And follow his Eagles. And we'll have him back on the show real soon. But time to put the kids to bed, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.